Right, so I think I have the problem at hand, because as soon as I move the joystick at all, it was snapping. So, oh yeah, that's right, because I never turned it off. Ah, code. So I had it as this and this. I'll get back to where I was yesterday. Okay. So this is what I had. So as soon as I move this, it just snaps. See? So I think I can solve that by doing origin x equals origin f, and then I just capture that at the start. So I do origin x equals panel dot transform dot position dot x. So I get the start x value and I store it in here, and then I do origin x plus the diff. So that would get me that's still not going to get me negative though, is it? So as long as I go positive, which means I'm going left, which would be negative. Delta here. So as I move it to there, it should move the other direction anyway. It should stop. Times. Do I really want the sign of the delta? So I want the negative of that though, because when I move to, so positive, x is positive to the right, so when I move to the right, I actually want to move the screen that way, which means I want it to be negative. So I want to do negative there. No. It's just herky-jerky all the time, isn't it? What am I missing here? Okay, what's the position of the x? Right, so forgetting this position just now, what is, so that is 1131, and this is, see, that's going the wrong way, that's 0. Okay, so that's right, so it isn't, it's going to be 0 to 1, so my x is divided by that, our diff, which is the delta multiplied by 0.512. That's not seem to be working. makes no sense. What delta is. Okay, so delta should be 0.5. Okay. So right now delta should be 0.5. So I nudge it slightly. It should be 0.53, and it should tend to 1 as soon as I move up there. Okay, so it goes to 1. And then down here, this should tend to 0. Which is right, it does tend to 0. Okay, so that's right. So let's clamp it in there as well. And that value there, between 0 and 1. Because you want to keep the values between 0 and 1. So that is going to clamp the diff between 0 and 512. Zero to that way. Okay, so problem is that's a positive number. So if I'm at 0, so I really have to do minus 0.5. Which gets me, that means the delta's got to be, well, wait a minute. It's 1024. So I'm going to go 0 to 1024. So by default, it is at 512. See, I'm multiplying it out, but I need to set this to be an absolute value. Okay, so that's draw us the board. 0 to 1, and I'm currently at 0.5, but 0. What we're saying is, folks, don't code at night because your brain's mush. Okay. So my comment here is check to see whether the cursor is relative to the screen. This gives us a value range 0 to 1. I think I want that to get into the range -5 to +5 rather than 0 to 1. So to do that, I would subtract -0.5. But 0 to 5, if I'm at 0, if I'm at 0, I have multiplied Okay, so I move that way. If I move that way, then I want, if I move positive x, I want that to move the opposite direction from 0 to 5 on that one. It's just a problem with the fact I'm doing this. This is relative to the screen. Sorry, this is relative to the screen. And I'm trying to calculate an absolute from that. So if that is the case, then I am currently 0.5 in this space, or I'm 0 in this space, whatever. I'm halfway between when we start. The delta is I've now moved to, let's just say we're moving to the right, which means if we're moving to the right, then we're moving that slightly to the left. We're shifting everything to the left. So if I move to 0.75, that means we moved everything by to there. So we are at if I subtract that, that gets minus 0.5 to plus 0.5. And then my delta is if I'm full on, if I'm full to the right, and that means that I'm 512 that way. So 0.55, well, 512 divided by 0.5 is 1024. So my delta is actually 1024. So that speed a little bit faster. .5, negative 0.5, 0.5, negative 0.5. Still looks like it's just scrolling with it, which is not, well, it's a little bit slower that direction. But it is going the opposite direction of what I want it to be. Hey, we have it. We have a wiener. Just need to clamp it to so let's say float ux equals origin plus diff if ux is less than origin x minus 512f, ux equals origin x minus 512f, else if ux is greater than origin x plus 512f, ux equals origin x plus 512f. Okay. And okay, let's see what we got here. So take the delta, I put it into minus 0.5 to 0.5 space, and then I multiply it by 1024. So that means that gets me a negative value, which yeah, that gets me negative whatever delta is. So that could mean I get a positive value because I'm going the opposite direction because of this guy. So that gets us into the right space because when we move right, we're actually moving left because we're shifting left. When we move left, we're actually shifting right. And this sets up a temporary variable, and then we just make sure that everything's in bounds so that we don't crash out at the other end. So hopefully this will work. Not quite. What is that position? Position is where's calculator not moving? I don't know what the start is. So 593. 593. So I mean that's 512. That puts it right in the edge there. So and this is going to be negative 512. Yeah, negative 512. Okay, so if nu x is less than negative 512, so apparently origin is 0. Good to know. Get rid of that, and we can get rid of origin x. Get rid of that line there as well. And hopefully it will now clamp to the edge there. Oh dear. The best laid plans, of course. Okay, so let's find out what's going on here. So I move further to the right. So delta is that, diff is negative, origin is somehow 581.5, which I don't understand. So the origin is that. This is Unity, you really have to sort this out. What? If I move that to 512, that is in bounds. I think you'll agree that is inside there. And if I move that to 512, that is in bounds. So what is the actual value? So if I go to here, so that's minus 512 for all intents and purposes. I'm at 512. So if I go to the debug view, so the local position is that, the anchored position is that, I don't know what else there is, but as soon as I go to, maybe I just do it from the local position actually. That would make it a lot easier, wouldn't it? Oh. Because then I would offset it from there, which would be 0. So if I did that from there, okay, let's try this. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So we still need to clamp it into the range. So we want to clamp that position. So that's our cursor position. So that's fine. That's good. Our delta, our difference is still the same because it's still negative to positive 512, but our delta check is on the diff. Is that, and then all we need to do is comment that out. And change that to dot local position. Alright. So now when I move to the right, it should just clamp to 512. Right. Telling the truth. Here we go. Oh. Has a wiener. Okay, but we don't want that. We want local position instead of that. So transform.local position, transform.local position. These values are going to be that might be a half. But that's definitely 0. Well, we can find out. So the panel is turn off debug view. Okay, so they're going to be 0. So whatever, it's going to be standard. Okay, so now if I move over here, nice. So now I've got my cursor, and I can go over there and meet things. All right, looking good. Nice. Let's, while we're here, let's get rid of all this code we don't need. Love that comment. Yeah, so simple. Okay, let's get rid of those guys. And we'll do float verticals. cursor speed. And I will change that to, instead of right, dot up. So I don't have any clamps on it just now. Like there's no bound check, so I'll just do that in a sec. Just want to make sure this is going to work. Of course. We need to change the Y value independently here. Okay. Equal. Of course you can't do that because it is a struct. Oh, what? What am I doing? It's vector 2 anyway. Should be vector 3. And actually, what am I doing? That's all I need to do. I don't know what I was doing all that for. So I want to add this vector, which is going to be this vector multiplied this vertical, multiplied by the cursor speed, multiplied by delta time, and that will give us our vertical value. So okay, and then we do the same checks that we did beforehand, which is down here. So what do we do here? So y is less than, okay, I don't have cursor height. And change that to height. Not equal speed anymore. So cursor height. So that would be transform.position.x. Cursor height. Transformation y is greater than cursor height. Of course, that's going to be height. think that's it. Yep, there we go. I have it clamped to the screen, and we have things moving on there. Yeah, I think that's okay. And that'll work with no matter what size of screen you've got. And all you need to do is, let's say this is your screen here, and you have your icons. I don't have any icons, but if you have any icons in there, you can actually extend the screen as well and have it. I won't do the vertical one, but you can do the vertical one yourselves. But yeah, you can extend this as much as you want horizontally. So what you could do is you would expose. This is our property down here. So this would then be our let's call it public. Screen, what do they call it? It's not safe area. Let's call it outside safe area equals, and look at 1 of 512. Because we'll do a wee bit of jiggery pokery. So float and then outside safe area double. Times 2, and then we will have that value in there and this value here. Like that. So that gets rid of those magic numbers. So now if I want to make this yeah, outside safe area. Let's say I want to make this like double the size. So I want to make this 1/24. So instead of the width being that, I'm now going to increase this by 1/24, or am I going to increase that by 1/24? It's going to be 512 that side and 512 that side, so it is 1/24. Ha! So that is 294 plus 1/24. 294 plus 1/24. Just give me that. So if I strike that to there, that's 1048. Well, that's no good. What is that? Okay, so that's 1040. Okay, so let's make it, that's 1040 then. So now I go to my scene. Not quite there. So obviously screwed up a bit my calculations, but you see that you've now got to the if I bring the scene down to here and then I scroll here, you see that we've got it's not quite right. My brain's not functioning very well, but you can see that it's scrolling to the extremities of that, so that's good. So if we go back to here and then put the panel back to where it was. I'd like to know what that was. 294 was that? That was it. Now I scroll it and it's, oh yeah, I need to put it back to 512. Oh dear, 512. Okay, so now when I scroll it, so when I scroll this, it'll go to the extremities. Not quite the extremities, but getting there. Oh yeah, it's because there's some, I think there's some rounding issues. Well, not so much rounding issues, just bad math on my part with this section here. So I don't think we quite get to between 0 and 1. It never gets to quite 0, so we can fix that. But yeah, I think we're going to call that done. It's something to get started with anyway. So yeah, so there's the Destiny cursor UI thing.